Hey guys, welcome to No Filter, a Nintendo podcast. I'm your host, Wizrad, and this is episode 9, being recorded on January 24th, 2018. So let's just get right into it. So let's go over some news topics here. So first, the Totaku Figurine line. So this is basically the Sony version of Amiibo. I've been calling this for a while. I was kind of hoping they'd create one, and here it is, finally. So yeah, there's no game functionality. The style of base, the size, the packaging, it's Amiibo. There's a lot of people out there trying to say, no, this is not, it's not Amiibo. It's not. Come on, you guys know this is following the craze of that. The size of the packaging, the size, they all have the same base, the same form. These aren't figures. These are Amiibo. They just don't have game functionality. But either way, though, they look pretty damn good. A lot of the Amiibo are just kind of in storage for me right now. I'll be moving around, but as soon as I really do settle down, then I'll be able to, really display them all. But I'm not really using them for too much game functionality anyway. But yeah, anyway, let's just go over some of these ones here. So they have Kratos, which is pretty cool. He looks really good, really detailed. And, I forgot to mention, these are only $10, so this is even cheaper than the Amiibos. Sure, it doesn't have the game functionality, but some of these look pretty damn detailed. Pretty impressive. Some of these also don't look too good. But, so the Kratos looks fantastic from the new God of War coming out soon. Hunter from Bloodborne. I haven't played Bloodborne yet, but I do plan on getting it at some point soon for PS4. Crash Bandicoot. That's a given. That looks like a really good one for a lot of people, especially in Amiibo form. Parappa the Rapper, not sure how I think about that one. Not really an appealing looking character at all, and it being flat and weird, I don't know. They have a Wipeout ship, which is pretty cool. I like to see this stuff. I was hoping that Nintendo would do an R-Wing thing, so maybe if this Wipeout ship does well, maybe Nintendo keeps note, I don't know. But that's pretty cool. They have Sackboy, which is a given. That had to be there. They already have a lot of like Sackboy figurines and stuff, but to see an official Amiibo type Sackboy, really cool. Then they also have Heihachi from Tekken. I don't know why he's even there, but whatever. I guess for a lot of Tekken fans, I guess. So $10, so that's a nice price, and they're looking pretty good. So yeah, I'm again, everyone can say, oh, it's Sony copying Nintendo again or whatever, but Nintendo also didn't come up with the Toys to Life thing. That was Activision with Skylanders, right? So whatever it is, I was waiting for Sony to try to do something. I just know that they don't have as many characters that would really be doing something like this. So I like that they kind of have their own take. They don't need to do this whole game functionality thing, but it also brings some more stuff to stores. So I'm sure EB Games and GameStop are happy. So next story is God of War. So yes, we got a new story trailer and a release date for the new God of War coming out April 20th, 2018. So that's pretty great. It's the same day as the LABO 420. And it looks good. I'm still wondering about the change of the gameplay and the style. Like how I'm kind of worried with how little actual gameplay is actually shown of it. Or like variety in the landscapes and stuff. Story trailer definitely did show more to it. And I think it's going to be either a heart-wrenching story or it's just going to be hopefully they don't kind of mess it up where they try to go for that, but then they also want to go with the crazy badass Kratos stuff. We'll see how they do it, but it looks like they're trying to pull a kind of a Last of Us with God of War. It still does have me concerned a little bit. Either way, I'm going to be playing it 100% for sure. So but just maybe not a day one. I'll kind of see what some of the reviews are first and kind of see what my thoughts are. But anyway, that is really exciting for a lot of people, and it's cool to see that it actually is coming in relatively in the first quarter. I'd say first third, I guess, of 2018, because Sony had a ton of games that, to be fair, the end of 2017 for Sony was kind of shit, right? They really put out a ton of games in the early year, Horizon, Persona, Nier, all that kind of stuff, and then towards the end of 2017 it really slowed down, at least for exclusives. So I'm expecting a ton more announcements for these release dates coming soon for Sony, unless they're saving it all for E3 again. But it's cool to see God of War come out in April, so very good. Next one is about Monster Hunter. So there's an interview with, I guess, the producer of Monster Hunter, and it was talking about, hey, why isn't it on Switch? So basically, their answer was just saying that, it started years ago before they even knew the Switch was a thing. But, that makes sense. Cool, I get that. They've probably been working on the game for 4+ years. But why not a port then? Like, I get it. Yeah, you started the game before, but if you're dodging the question by saying, no, we just didn't want to put it on it. If that's what it was, then you can just say that. But here you're saying, oh, well, this is our excuse because we started it early. But why not do a port then? You knew the Switch was coming out probably 2 years ago, right? You knew of the success 6+ months ago, right? So not a port? I don't know. Like, I get it. They probably want to focus on just releasing the game as is on the intended platforms they had. But, maybe give the full story and don't try to, like, dangle in front of everybody. Anyway, kind of a bullshit excuse. Again, could be a port, but to be fair, I'm not too interested in Monster Hunter anyways. I might grab it on sale later, but especially if it is easier to get into, because I did play Try. I've been holding off on buying 4. I really just wanted to find it on the eShop on sale for like $15 or something. But yeah, I've just never got into Monster Hunter too much, so that's probably why I'm not also too crazy about it. And the final bit of news, just quickly here, I want to talk about the SteamWorld Dig re-release. So again, this game's been on like every platform you could think about. Fantastic Metroidvania type game. Procedurally generated, really like it. But yeah, I'm gonna talk about a lot of the re-releases coming on Switch soon. A lot of indie re-releases and obviously the third party. So that'll be in a no filter rant probably next episode 10. So look forward to that. But anyway, let's get on to what I've been playing recently. So let's talk about Persona 5 first. So I just hit 100 hours. Yes, I'm on crack. Please help. 100 hours, people. I've been playing this game nonstop. The one thing that really does suck about this game is that it's not on a portable. I absolutely adored Persona 4 Golden on Vita, and being able to have it portably afforded me so much more time and flexibility with what I'm doing. But now it's like, shit, I have to sit on my couch, or I have to, it just really sucks that I have to sit there and for 100 hours over like a week and a half. Oh my God, people, I've been dead. Like, all I've been doing apart from, work and brief social life is this. So it's I'm adoring it though. I'm absolutely loving it. I do feel like it's running a little bit long though. It could be my fault. I might be taking a little bit too slow, but it is taking a little bit long. Some of the dungeons are kind of becoming a little bit of a drag. But, I am loving where the story is going. I'm really developing all the relationships and the rankings and stuff like that. So that could also be kind of the reason where I'm kind of, I'm kind of running out of new things to do. But, no, the characters are all fantastic. I love how mature the subject matter is in this too. It's really, really cool. Some of this, the love interaction and stuff are a lot more mature as well. Some stuff that they wouldn't have shown in Persona 4. But I'm really liking it. The characters are all great, and I will definitely be having a full review in a later episode. By the way, I'm playing it now. Probably by next week, I'll probably complete the game. But I'm getting there, and I saved right where this big story change is going to happen, a big twist. So I'm really looking forward to playing this tonight after work. So, Floor Kids. So this is the next game I wanted to talk about. This is an indie game. It was shown in one of the Nindy Directs a while ago. And this is a really special rhythm game. So basically it's about breakdancing and hip-hop and DJing, but it's about breakdancing. So you're basically just a troupe of, I guess they call them kids, but you're kind of going through a city. You're going to all these different things, from a rundown studio to the streets to a subway to all these different venues that you would have breakdancing in. And, you got to play through multiple songs for each venue. You got to build up your rank. Then you can unlock new locations to go to. It's not really much of a story behind it. It's more just kind of spreading the love of hip hop and breakdancing. So, and I think it works for a game like this. You don't really need a big heavy story, but I just love the style so much in the game that I hope if there is ever a sequel, they do include more of like a story kind of thing to follow, because like it's so charming and it looks fantastic with amazing character throughout the whole game. So not to see that kind of incorporated with more of a story is kind of a shame. But again, I 100% understand why it wouldn't be, because it is a rhythm game first and foremost. The game is addictive, but it's also really catchy. The songs are made by one of my favorite DJs, Kid Koala. He's done some songs in Baby Driver, that movie everyone's really enjoying. And and he did the whole soundtrack for Floor Kids. And like, I'm playing the game and I'm like throwing my neck out because I'm just like bouncing to the beat the entire time. It's crazy. I dare any of you guys play this game and tell me your feet aren't bopping with it, your head isn't bopping with it, your hands, whatever. It's so damn catchy. Kid Koala is fantastic. The freestyle. So basically how it is you go into a song, there's a freestyle section, then a rhythm section, freestyle, then rhythm. Everything is rhythm based, but the freestyle, you can do whatever move you want, but you got to put together combos to get the best score. So the more combos you do in that, you get better score, but then there's like 5 different categories: flow, rhythm, fire, all these other categories for how well you're doing to make sure you're on beat with everything, how everything flows together. So it's really cool that they have all these different ways that they actually judge your performance. So it does feel like unique to each one. It's not like you can really do the same thing every time. So that's really cool. So like I really enjoyed this game. I'm going through right now just to get 5 stars on every level. And, I thought as soon as I was complete beating the story that I'd just be done. But I find myself every night, I finish Persona 5 and I'm like, you know what? I want to change the pace here. Open up Floor Kids. I want to play. I end up playing, at least 5 or 6 songs in that night instead of just the 1 or 2 that I wanted to do before I head to bed. But yeah, apparently not. It's really addicting, and I highly suggest it for anyone who's a rhythm game fan. Final game I wanted to talk about was Sonic Forces. So I know I talked about this in last week's episode, but I did complete it now, and you know what? I kind of liked it. Like it had some decent levels, had some decent level design in some of them. It was definitely not consistent, which is typical for Sonic games, but I like that it was a cheaper game. I appreciate that they brought it down to a lower price. I would be a lot more upset if I paid the $69.99 like it is in Canada, or sorry, $79.99 for normal prices. So other than that, like it wasn't amazing, it wasn't like great, but I kind of liked it. I like that the levels were shorter, so that you can jump back in there if you want to get another S rank or whatever. If you like the level, you can just go play it, and then it's not too much filler throughout the level. I think they really did make a good decision here. I hear a lot of people complaining about the length of the levels, but as long as they have a whole bunch of them, which it seemed like they had quite a few, there's like 30 plus levels, and then extra levels on top of that, plus challenges throughout each level. There's quite a bit here, and the shorter levels I do think work a lot better with Sonic, so they don't have all the crazy fluff that they kind of throw in there. I think that was definitely a change for the better there. I enjoyed it for what it was. It's still not as close to what, Sonic Lost World for me, or Sonic Colors, or Generations, I guess, but it's not nearly as bad as some of these other Sonic games, or it's not nearly as bad as people want to make it out to be. It did have some good levels, and for what it was and for the cheaper price, I did enjoy it. For 100%, I did enjoy it. So either way, I did not play Sonic Mania just before this game came out, though, so my opinions could be skewed because I will be playing Sonic Mania next. Maybe next episode you guys will hear my thoughts about it, but anyway, that's the end for my impressions, and let's get on to the first segment. Hey, this is No Filter, a Nintendo podcast, and this is my top 10 video game trailers of all time. So this list will include both cinematic and gameplay trailers. I just kind of put the whole list together. If you guys want to see separate lists, top 10 cinematic and top 10 gameplay trailers of all time, please let me know. But yeah, let's just get right into it. Number 10 is Assassin's Creed Revelations. So this trailer was shown at E3 2011, and it had some of the best production value I think anyone has ever seen at the time for a video game. It was fantastic, and it was the conclusion. Revelations was the conclusion to the Ezio trilogy of Assassin's Creed 2, which is highly, highly regarded by everybody. Fantastic series, at least Assassin's Creed 2 was. So this trailer obviously is high production value, really epic, and that music in the back, dun, 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 dun. It's so good, and has that turn at the end there. It does like the jump cut away and shows the logo. I'm a stickler for those type of trailers, and guys, so this is my number 10. Number 9 is Battlefield 3. So this is going to be the launch trailer that was shown in 2011. And unlike Assassin's Creed Revelations, I'm not putting this one in here for the production value put into it. This is more of just fantastic editing and sound editing by the creators, by DICE. So the thing that really got this for me was, one, the music was so epic. I think you guys will hear it. I'll show it in this clip. Battlefield 3 at the end here, where it's just a you know what I mean? Like, that is so epic, and they matched everything so well with the actual video. You'll see this one part where a guy's kicking through a window, and he times it exactly perfectly, going right through there, kicking a guy. You know, it's so well made. The editing is so well done. So this has to be my number 9. Number 8 is Splatoon, the Wii U teaser trailer shown at the E3 digital event in 2014. So this was a huge trailer for me, because whenever Nintendo has a new IP that they're really putting all their backing behind, it's, you know, everyone's got to be really excited for it. And this lived up to the excitement and more. It was so unique, so innovative, something that no one's ever even thought of or seen before. And it was brought so well through this trailer. They showed so many unique aspects to this game that, again, you would have never seen in any other video game. So guys, I highly suggest, you know, taking a look at the trailer. I'm sure you're seeing in the background here, but it is something really special here. ARMS did pretty well for their first trailer too, but, you know, I'd like to see another game on the scale of Splatoon really go at it, because the teaser trailer here showing all the innovative ideas, that is why this is my number 8. Number 7 is Uncharted 2 Among Thieves. This is the VGA world premiere trailer that was shown in 2008, 10 years ago, guys. Yeah, so this trailer is unreal, because I was a huge Drake's Fortune fan before it really got big with anybody, I think. I didn't think Uncharted got huge right away, but it really built up kind of a following, and then when Uncharted 2 came out, that's when everyone started paying attention. And I think part of that is because of this trailer. This trailer is so good. It's where he's hanging, he wakes up, right? And he's sitting in a train, it looks like, and he's like, oh, this looks kind of messed up. This is weird. Then they flip the camera and all of a sudden you realize, oh shit, this train is hanging off of a fucking cliff and he's sitting on his back. It's crazy. It's such a cool set piece, and that pretty much describes the whole game, actually. So yeah, this was a fantastic trailer, because it showed what you're going to be dealing with throughout the whole rest of the game, and it was such an amazing set piece that yeah, this is definitely worthy of number 7. Number 6 is Super Mario Odyssey. So this is the trailer from the January presentation. It was a throw up for me between this and the Jump Up Superstar from E3 2017, but I think the January presentation they had showing off the Switch, this was a huge win for everybody, because this was showing New Donk City and Mario running through, you know, with realistic people, and seeing this brand new game again with all these crazy aspects that they're throwing in there. You see all these different worlds. It was a fantastic trailer, and one of the big reasons I think Switch is doing as well it is right now is because of this trailer. It was fantastically made. The music was beautiful, and yeah, Nintendo has been really killing it with their trailers recently. So this is a huge one for me, and that is definitely worthy of number 6. Number 5 is the Zelda Twilight Princess trailer. So this was shown at E3, I believe, in 2004. So 14 years ago. So yeah, this is epic, partly because back then you didn't have all these direct feed, I don't believe, of any of these videos. So what you do have is you have camcorders of people in the audience, and the hype coming from this trailer, I think it was huge because of all the backlash that Wind Waker got, unfounded as it may be, but it did get a lot of backlash from people. So seeing this new grittier looking Zelda Twilight Princess, seeing this trailer, the reaction from the crowd was unreal, just screaming, and it was one of the craziest reactions I've ever seen for a trailer. But yeah, so this is huge, partly because of that, but it was really cool to see all the different, you know, enemies that Link was fighting, him fighting on horseback, which is really kind of crazy when you thought about it back then. So yeah, this was a huge trailer, and another big thing about it too was at the end of the trailer, Miyamoto pulls out the Master Sword and does his posing, and it's just so charming, and it's so great to see. So that is definitely worthy of my number 5. Number 4 is Super Smash Bros. Melee. So this is the trailer from E3 2006. And again, this is very similar to the other one, where this is live in the crowd. You see a camcorder and it's going over the trailer. You hear this crazy reaction from the audience. And yeah, so this is Bill Trinen and Shigeru Miyamoto talking about, oh, what way can we bring characters to the GameCube? Oh, this might be a good idea. And yeah, again, the reaction was insane. You can just tell with all the different, you know, there's some of the new character reveals that they had, and All the old characters being revitalized, people cheering for all the franchises that they love. It's fantastic. Super Smash Brothers in general, I could have put Brawl on this one. That was a huge one. I could have put any of the character trailers that they've done for the Wii U or the 3DS one. Just either way, you guys know that Super Smash Bros. Had to be on this list somewhere. And so for me, it's a number 4. Number 3 is Halo 2. So this trailer was from 2003. And I don't know if you guys know this, but I was a huge Halo fan. I remember all the times me and my brother would play through Halo 1. We must have beat Legendary of Halo 1 like at least 10 times. And so we were beyond excited to see a sequel come out. And when this Halo 2 trailer came out with the epic music, Master Chief, the better visuals, everything looks so clean. You could just tell it was going to be epic with Master Chief flying off of the ship and going to land on a Covenant ship. And oh my God, people, it was so epic. And I think that's one way to just describe this. It wasn't crazy with all huge crazy explosions or anything like that. It was still a very generic trailer from back in the day for the most part. But again, the music, the production value, and I guess just the narrative that they showed throughout the trailer really put it to the top. So this is definitely 100% worth my number 3. My number 2, as you guys can see, is Monolith Soft X. So this is the trailer for Xenoblade Chronicles X that was coming out later, but this was when it was first announced, I think 2 or 3 years before the actual game came out. This is a trailer I've probably seen, no doubt, like 200 plus times because I just kept watching it over and over. One of the main reasons is, first, it was absolutely gorgeous. I love the world. The mechs that they were showing, it was like unreal. Like to think, oh shit, you actually have an open world game where you can go in a mech and fly around and have, no holds barred. You're everywhere. It's insane. But I think the main thing was the music. So from Hiroyuki Sawano, I believe, he did Attack on Titan and stuff like that. The it was so epic. And I remember downloading that song as soon as I heard this trailer, and I'd listen to that like constantly. It was so good, and just the trailer was fantastically made. Showed all the different kind of landscapes that you could have, mainly from the one world because it was pretty early, but just seeing how large the expanse was and seeing and finally getting the payoff later on, this was a huge trailer for me. I absolutely loved it. And finally, my number 1 video game trailer of all time has to go to Zelda Breath of the Wild from the January presentation in 2017. Honestly, like even with all that I said about Monolith Soft X trailer, there was no competition for this. This is the most hyped trailer I've ever seen, and to think it came from Nintendo is pretty crazy. So first off, production value looks fantastic. Looks unreal. The music, so beautiful. It takes you through the moody kind of environmental music that Breath of the Wild's known for. Then it takes you into this bombastic, amazing, friggin' hype song that comes in there. It's so epic. It has all these high and low moments throughout that really keeps you like thinking and going. The trailer's relatively long as well. And, it takes you through this thing. And then you see, oh crap, there's voice acting? Holy shit. Holy fuck, what's going on here? He's fighting these guys with fire. He's tackling this sandworm thing. He's going through all this. Oh shit, there's a Goron. Oh. And then they show you Zelda for the first time and you're like, oh fuck, she's beautiful. What the hell? And then they show her crying and then you're sad. You're getting emotional with it. Then they show this beautiful segment where he's like turning on a horse and you see these beautiful blades of grass and a bokoblin trying to attack you with a club. It takes you through so many levels in such a short amount of time, even though it was a relatively long trailer. It was so big, and to think that was the thing that ended their January presentation for the Nintendo Switch. What I said about Odyssey before, about how that really helped the Switch perform as well as it is, the Switch wouldn't even be here if this wasn't a game that was released on launch day. The amount of times I went back to watch this trailer, reactions of it, again, I must have seen this trailer at least 200 times as well. And this is in over like a year, like I went and watched so many reactions of it. People are literally crying watching this trailer. People are ripping their shirts off and running around and just freaking out. It was a cultural phenomenon for me. 100% worth my number 1 video game trailer of all time. So there it is, guys. There are my top 10 video game trailers of all time. I did want to go over some honorable mentions here. First, I want to go over was Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes. So this was again from 2017, and I am a massive No More Heroes fan. To see this trailer come out in the Nindies Direct first was a huge surprise, and also was so crazy hype for me that, but sadly it just barely got nudged out by Assassin's Creed Revelation trailer. Next is the Super Mario Galaxy 2 E3 2009 trailer. The music was amazing. I know it might have not have had the impact as Super Mario Galaxy, the first one, but just seeing this with the music and all the different ads that they had in it was pretty crazy. Next is Fallout 3 or 4 announcement trailer. I just love the format that they have for these, where they just show, an apocalyptic world where there's nothing really going on at the start here, like the Fallout 3 coming out of like a subway car. Fallout 4 doing the same thing in a house. Really, really cool. Next is the Gears of War Mad World reveal trailer. So this is, for a lot of people, one of the top ones, and I'm a huge Gears of War fan, at least 1 and 2. But just didn't make the list. There's a lot of competition. Next is the BioShock Infinite reveal trailer. So this was a big one for me, mainly because the with the first few BioShocks, they're all underwater. So this one kind of played at that because everyone knew it was a BioShock game, right? So they're playing it under the water. They had the music, but then it's just like a boom, a crash, and then all of a sudden the guy's head flies out of like a fish tank or whatever it is, and he's getting thrown out into like this, into the air with all these blimps and steampunk looking stuff, and it was a huge kind of breath of fresh air, and it was really cool to see that they paid homage and then said, nope, fuck it, you're doing something new here, and I love those kind of trailers, so that's a big one as well. World of Warcraft Warlords of Draenor cinematic trailer. So this is all cinematics, so this kind of lost points because of that, but I'm a huge Warcraft fan, mainly just the strategy games. I've never played World of Warcraft, but to see Grom and Hellscream and all that stuff, that was pretty crazy and really, really beautiful production value. And the last one I wanted to put here as well was Xenoblade Chronicles 2, the January presentation trailer. This is mainly, it wasn't the best put together trailer or anything like that, but this is mainly for my hype level, knowing that I'm a huge Xenoblade Chronicles fan. I loved X as well, but to see a new story-focused Xenoblade coming out, that was huge. And to see that that's coming out the first year of the Switch, ridiculous. So there it is, guys. Our Nintendo podcast. I just wanted to do a quick video here talking about the Nintendo LABO. Who knows? I still don't know exactly how to say it right, but I really want to talk about this because this really caught my interest yesterday. So if you guys didn't know, Nintendo kind of did a brief announcement beforehand saying that this is going to be a new way to play games for kids and for kids at heart. So I really like that they did this. They really kind of tempered the expectation of someone thinking, oh, it's going to be a Smash Bros. Or, all this stupid shit that people come up with nowadays. But yeah, so this is really cool. So it's a new way to play coming out April 20th, 2018. It's basically cardboard peripherals mixed with a new way to play using the Joy-Cons with their camera or their IR sensors and their motion and their HD rumble. And this is the stuff that I like to see from Nintendo people. I love seeing innovative, creative ways of how they do this stuff. Don't get me wrong, I do appreciate that Nintendo has been a lot more traditional over the last year with the Switch, but something was kind of missing, some bit of the Nintendo magic, and whether this is for me or not, seeing something like this from Nintendo is really comforting, maybe not comforting, but it's really appealing to me, and I love to see these innovative takes here that, let's be honest, people, the gaming industry with Sony and Microsoft has been stagnant for the last, I don't know how fucking long. I'm happy that Sony has the VR headset, but I don't think with the price and the games that are coming out for it yet, it has actually reached its potential. So hopefully they do well with it. But again, the majority of gaming has been super stagnant. So seeing something switch up, particularly for the kids, is really interesting to me. So anyway, just to go over it very quickly, variety kit, $69.99, called Toy-Con #1, which is pretty cool. I love when they have these stupid names like that too, but comes with 5 different, I guess, mini games. One is a piano, one is for fishing, one is for racing, one's like a house and a pet or something, like maybe like a Tamagotchi thing, and another is an RC car kind of race with 2 different cars. Really, really cool. This is the one pack that if I am interested, this is probably the one I'd be getting at least first. just to have a look, because I love these innovative things, and getting 5 different things in one, it's kind of cool. I'll talk about it a little bit later though. The other pack is Toy-Con 2, which is the robot kit, which is $79.99. Which is pretty insane. If you guys have seen the photos that I just showed here or whatever, man, like, so you're wearing like a robot suit backpack with a visor. It connects to your feet with these wires, these straps and string, and it's like, it looks like the former Project Giant robot from Miyamoto, and this is clearly this whole Nintendo LABO. I'm gonna call it LABO. It sounds better. This Nintendo LABO thing. It really, this is totally a Miyamoto project right here. This is not anything. This is all Miyamoto right here. I feel like Miyamoto's done with making the regular games. He's gone. He's not doing traditional experiences anymore. I feel like Star Fox Zero was enough, and I feel like he's just kind of sick of doing the traditional same stagnant kind of games that he's been doing for 20 plus years, so I feel like he's really stepping out of that, trying to do something different, and this is really interesting. One other item it does come with is a customization set, which includes stencils and stickers and like a tape roll and all this kind of stuff that you can customize. As a kid, customizing your stuff is really cool. Having your own creative freedom, really cool. So some of the quotes that I've been seeing from Reggie, there was an interview, I believe, with The Verge, I believe. One was him saying, "A simple but likely effective way of getting kids to learn about digital technologies like motion controls and infrared cameras." So, this is something about like teaching kids how to code. It shows a bit of creativity akin to, Lego and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. If LABO proves successful, it's possible we could see more complex kits aimed at older audiences. So Reggie believes it could grow quite large in an age perspective, which is pretty cool because, again, they went into this saying that this is for kids and kids at heart. So everyone that isn't an absolute nutcase should, have their expectations in check. This could be interesting to see how they could, expand this into a larger age perspective, and it's not just, kids at heart that want to get into the creativity aspect of it. So that'd be cool to see some other future things, and I'll probably be talking about this over the next few months for sure about other possibilities they could have with it. But it does show some additional items in the trailer that came out. The trailer's like 3 minutes or something like that, and it did show some other items there that aren't in the 2 kits that they're selling right now. They had some extra stuff in there, like a full steering wheel set. They had all this other kind of stuff thrown in there. There's some really cool stuff, some weird thing with like a bird that you just use. I don't know if this is just like they give you extra items that you can make out of the cardboard and then use HD Rumble or something within to make it do something. I don't know what it is. They could just give us free stencils to do this stuff. I don't know. It's very intriguing, this whole Nintendo LABO thing. But yeah, so the a few points I wanted to kind of come up with here, following a lot of the the response after the fact. Scalpers is one thing, because man, it's whenever these innovative things here, they sell like hotcakes at the start, and Nintendo is super, super conservative with everything. I swear to God, if fucking parents have to go to scalpers to buy this stuff, Nintendo, go fuck yourself. Seriously, like I've told myself I'm never waiting in line for another Nintendo thing. I'm never pre-ordering unless, I actually want to get like a special edition or something. They should be supplying enough for the fucking demand. They got to stop being so fucking conservative with it that, and this whole, whether manufactured or not, this whole demand that they come up with. This better be all in stores everywhere, This can't be like that. As far as something else though, so this is what I think the quality of life thing was that, that Nintendo was talking about over the last like few years, I think, with like the vitality sensor, if you guys remember that. And so I think this is one of the big initiatives they had. And I think this is actually really cool. And I didn't think the quality of life thing would be this kind of blatant. And but I do like that it was focused more on the certain demographic. So kids, everyone always talks about kids these days and how they're, they get a smartphone when they're young and they just play games on that, and they're not actually developing their brain in the certain creative ways that, say, people my age or older than me would have with, say, Lego and action figures and all this other stuff. Kids at the age of like, what is it, like 7, 8 or something like that. From then on, a lot of them are already, just playing tablet games and stuff like that. So this is really cool to really bring it out from using the software, because that, developing with society, using the technology software, but incorporating engineering and creativity. And I love that aspect. I absolutely love that. It's really modernizing some of these, stagnant older toy things. I could see some other companies doing something similar to this. Like I could see Lego trying to extend out from their, just typical Lego sets and having separate Lego games and trying to do something that combines the two. It was kind of started with like that Toys to Life thing with Skylanders and Amiibo and all that stuff. But this is something different, and this is something that's also an educational tool, and I really do appreciate that. Like when I look at this, I just think back to, imagine if I was a kid and I go under my Christmas tree and I find this, or if I get this for my birthday or something. That would be huge. I would be ecstatic. This would be so cool, so unique, and again, very akin to Lego, which I was huge into Lego when I was young. I sort of got giddy thinking about it, because it's like, man, nostalgia brings me back to this creativity and this like interest here in like these toys. Super, super cool. But as for me right now, though, I'm still kind of on the fence. Like the gamer in me does want to try something new. I've never been so complacent with just playing like a shooting game all the time. I'd love to branch out and play different type of things. So there's no doubt I will get this at some point. I don't know if I'll get it right away. I do want to see how in-depth the games can get. That's one concern I would have, is that, $80, $20 per game in the variety pack, or $70, so $15 per game in the variety pack, around there. If these games don't have some sort of depth to it, like the RC car thing, it's kind of cool. It's, it goes along the table, and that'd be amazing for kids, because if you guys don't remember, toys and kids, they get a Lego set, they play with it a little bit, they just leave it there. They have an action figure, they play with it for hours and hours and hours, and that's how it is. It's different for, again, when you're not just a kid at heart, or a kid or whatever, and you're just, a typical gamer, that might not be catching your interest, and that's why it's not for you then. But, yeah, anyway, I think I'm going on too many tangents here. So I see a lot of complaints, though, of people saying, oh, but it's just cardboard. Well, no fucking shit, it's just cardboard. And what's the deal? First off, it's not just cardboard. There's implementation of, if you guys have read about how you do this piano thing, reflective tape, and you have all this other stuff, you incorporating the Joy-Cons, and it's a lot more than just cardboard. And while, yes, for people that might not be the target audience in the first place, it might seem steep, the $80 or whatever, people are also buying Lego sets for hundreds of dollars and giving it to their kids. This is for kids. The price is fine for kids, and you're getting software included. This is something new. So obviously the price is probably going to be higher than if it had competition down the road. But like, this is not anything different from any other toys that kids would be getting. Look at some of these like Star Wars Lego sets that literally go for a couple $100. And you're getting just one Lego set that you play as. That's what it is. Like, plastic bricks compared to cardboard, or, a plastic action figure compared to cardboard. Everything can break. Everything can do that. I don't see, people are just using that as an excuse just to hate on the thing. So whatever. Yeah, toys cost money. This costs money. I don't see the issue. It's laser cutted etch board too. I don't need to explain this. Whatever. You guys know it's a laser cut etch board, etched lines in the board and stuff. They have to color it correctly. They have to do all this stuff. It's not just a fucking piece of cardboard, whatever it is. But anyway, one thing that does concern me, in Canada, it's likely going to be $99.99 for the friggin' robot one. $100, 5 games, $20 each. Not gonna happen for me. So that's one thing there that is a big issue for me. What else is there? So the Project Giant Robot thing is pretty cool, though. Like that really interests me, with the whole, connecting to your feet and you actually moving, and it just looks so bonkers. I love that. It really reminds me of like the Nintendo creativity that you never see from any other company, really. It's smart that cardboard is a perishable item. I can imagine with all the backlash from all the plastic instruments that were in people's houses, and how they had to get rid of it, and everyone's saying about how it all just goes to landfill. I can't imagine how many Guitar Hero guitars are just in like a landfill now, It's really cool that it is this perishable item. It also has like that kind of social aspect involved with it. I think is really cool for the parents that are buying their kids this stuff. But I can totally see adults going into some serious crazy hacks about this too. That's pretty cool. I can already see some adults like making a full metal version or like plastic or aluminum or whatever it is. I could really see that, or maybe just coating it in something, there could be some really cool mods to this that I feel like kids and adults alike would really enjoy. And that's something I would love to do, is if they had like a certain software that could do multiple things and you could actually create something with it. That'd bring me back to like college days, making like, building models and stuff like that. Really cool. My main concern always is going to be the longevity of the games and the depth of it. Like I can't wait to actually build the piano. Apparently it takes you over 2 hours to actually build the piano from the ground up. Some of these other ones, 5-15 minutes, something like that. That's going to be probably the funnest part. And that was always my favorite part with Lego back in the day. But, as far as the actual use of it for kids, repetition is what kids do. That's what they have. That's all they can do. Their parents get them gifts, for their birthday and for Christmas and whatever else, and that's pretty much it. So they repeat and they find out different ways and use their creativity. They use their minds, and it's really good for their education. So that's really cool. But yeah, again, for the grown-ass men flipping out about this thing is clearly kid-oriented. They stated as such. So I'm interested in what happens going forward. Like, I see some concern with some of the gamers that are kind of worried about that, because it turned them off with the Nintendo Wii, because for some reason they thought that there were no other games for it, even though there clearly were. But Nintendo does need to be careful, because a lot of these pretendos that are kind of coming back to the Switch now, they could be finding excuses to hate it again and maybe step away from the Switch and just have a reason in their mind to say, you know what, I'm not going to buy any more games for this. I can put all my money into another system. Nintendo does have to walk a fine line here, whether it's unfounded or not. But also for me a little bit, it does have me have a little bit of concern here, because I've been really enjoying the last year, 2017, with all the games that Nintendo's been bringing out, and almost every single one of them is akin to my taste in gaming. This one, not so much. And I really hope that this isn't taking away too much resources from their other endeavors. I don't believe it will be, but this should not be taking a big release date out of a Switch calendar. So say they did say they wanted to have a new big Switch game from Nintendo every month of 2018. If this counts as one of those games that you put in 2018 and says, oh, okay, well, April, this is the game for you guys. Well, no, it's fucking not for everybody. This is not for you guys. You guys is the core fan base that has the Switch right now, and they need to keep it that way. I see that concern from people. I don't think this is actually going to have that effect. I think Nintendo's smarter than what they did with the Wii, as far as, alienating the fan base, whether it was unfounded or not. But that is the one concern I do have there, and the other is obviously the depth in these games. But I don't want to talk about those kind of negatives anymore, because again, this really just kind of jogged my, my creative, had my creative juices flowing. You know what I mean? Like, it really got me excited to see this innovation in the industry again, and whether this does really well and goes for a long time and they really add on to it, or they just kind of have this as a couple one-offs, get a lot of money and then bow out of it. We'll see how that goes. But if they do want to keep it going, they need to keep up the support and create new Toy-Con kits, and hopefully lower the price. Or maybe I've heard all these things about them providing the blueprints, I guess, online for free, so other people can just get cardboard and cut it, or use an X-Acto knife or do whatever. That might be dangerous for kids, but they might do something in that way so that that people can save some money on it and then just sell the software going forward as a platform. We'll see kind of how it goes, but I think my opinions have gone on for long enough here. Anyways, guys, thank you very much for watching No Filter and Nintendo Podcast. I appreciate all your feedback that you guys have been providing me. Please leave in the comments any of your favorite any of your favorite trailers, any of the games you've been playing recently, or your thoughts on Nintendo Labo. I'd love to hear it. And thanks guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time.